Given his diagnosis, he absolutely should not have had a gun.
As her brother recovers from gunshot wounds, she's on a mission to make sure other families don't find themselves in a similar situation. Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us for this special edition of KREM 2 News. I'm Mark Hanrahan.
Good to have you with us. I'm Tom Sherry. The sister of a man shot by police this week is speaking out today, saying we need more resources for mental health.
She says her brother's mental illness was no secret and that he should not have been able to buy a gun. KREM 2's Lindsay Nadrich sat down with her this afternoon. Lindsay?
Ronald Akers' sister told me he struggled with mental illness his entire adult life. His family is still trying to wrap their minds around what happened as law enforcement entered his apartment on Monday. She says the takeaway, though, isn't about police brutality. Instead, it's about how we can do better to help those living with a mental illness.
We were scared. We were terrified.
Those are emotions Ronald Akers' sister, Amy Truex, still feels today as she worries about her little brother.
He's a kind person. He's a loving person. He's got a lot of family that loves and cares about him. He does struggle with mental illness.
Law enforcement were called to Ronald's apartment Monday to serve a court-ordered eviction notice. Officers believed he had his hand on a rifle under a blanket. And when he refused to remove his hands from the rifle, at least 2 officers fired their weapons. Detectives told Amy her brother was shot 8 times. He's still at Sacred Heart, but Amy says he's stable and is now breathing on his own. Because he's facing criminal charges, they haven't been able to see him at the hospital.
Our family's scared because we don't know how he's going to wake up, what he's going to know, what he's going to remember, because he has an extensively documented record of mental illness and bipolar disorder.
Amy says his mental illness was no secret, which is why his family has a lot of questions.
I do feel like that mental illness is so overlooked, and there's such a lack of resources in our community that things like this are bound to happen when you put law enforcement in front of mental health.
Amy called it a lose-lose situation. Officers should go home safely at night. Her brother should be able to get help for his diagnosis. The fact that her brother had a rifle just escalated the encounter with law enforcement.
Given his diagnosis, he absolutely should not have had a gun.
Amy isn't saying gun rights need to be taken away. Instead, she believes more needs to be done to protect those with mental health from hurting themselves or others.
There needs to be checks in place so that we don't have to fall asleep at night wondering, do they have a gun or do they not have a gun? Are they okay or are they not okay? Are they safe or are they not safe? Are the people around them safe?
She knows her brother isn't the only person struggling with mental illness, so she worries other families will end up in the same situation if nothing changes. In studio, I'm Lindsay Nadrich, KREM 2 News.